to a new edition of The Exchange. Today we're talking Xavier men's soccer. The Musketeers are 3-1 at the top of the Midwest Division in the Big East, and they have a big one on Saturday night when they take on the new member of the Big East this season, the third-ranked Akron Zips in Cincinnati, 7 Eastern Time Saturday on the Big East Digital Network on Flow Sports. And to talk more about the Musketeers, let's welcome in their sophomore goalkeeper, Jonny Mennell, is with us now. Jonny, you're on the Big East Weekly Honor Roll, coming off of a great performance last week with a 5-save shutout performance against Ohio State and a couple of saves and a victory over Marquette. What would you say is the Xavier culture in men's soccer?
I think it's all about positivity, discipline, and then just working for the guy next to you. Those are kind of our three core principles: servant leadership, positivity, and discipline. And I think when you look at it, like, a lot of teams they play their best soccer, their first game of the year, and then they kind of just goes downhill from there. And it's how many guys like check out, injuries, all that kind of stuff. And I think we are starting to play our best soccer, and I don't think we've even shown how good we are yet. So I think that's kind of our culture of just constant improvement each day, through that discipline, and then just working for that guy next to you. And we're just going to be the hardest working team in the country. We may not be the best team, but we most definitely will be the hardest working team.
You're a goalkeeper. How did you start goalkeeping to begin with?
My dad was a college soccer coach for my whole entire life, basically up to about 2 years ago. He was a goalkeeper at Air Force, and he coached goalkeepers at LMU. And then so I just kind of like wanted to always be like my dad. And he put me into soccer, and I started playing club. And I realized I really did not like running, but I really loved the game. So I was like, okay, like, what's the one position I can play that doesn't make me run a lot? So yeah, so I play goalkeeper.
What do you think Saturday night is going to be like at Corcoran Field when you welcome in the number 3 ranked team in the country, the Akron Zips, in a huge Midwest Division battle?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's a real opportunity for us to kind of impose our style onto them. I think they're obviously a really good team, as they've shown all year. They're prolific in front of goal. They're very stout defensively, hard to break down. And I think we fancy ourselves as one of the best pressing teams in the country. So it'll be a really good battle for us to kind of show that we have enough about us to go and score some goals. And then we obviously have shown over the past 2 years under Coach Higgins that we won't give up a lot of goals. So I think it's gonna be really fun. We haven't played. I mean, the last ranked win we had at Xavier was against Akron when they were the number 2 team in the country. So I think it's gonna be really fun to try and go do that again and be their first loss of the year. Yeah.
Where do you fall on Skyline Chili?
Yeah, I think I kind of go back and forth. Like, I'm like
back and forth.
Yeah, I'm like, I think it's, when I haven't had it in a while, I think it's really, really good. And then I think the day after, I'm saying this is the worst place ever. I'm never going again.
How do you get it?
I get 3 cheese conies, and then I'll get a chulito, and then that'll be my order. Yeah.
Never before a game.
Never. I haven't gotten during the season so far. We haven't had a biggest stretch between games for it to be feasible for me to get some Skyline in between.
You beat the 3rd-ranked team in the country. It might call for it Saturday night.
In May.
So I got to ask you, last year you did not see action as a freshman. So tell me about the process of coming in to preseason camp this year and getting the starting job.
Yeah, it was obviously Cole went and had a brilliant year last year, and coming in, it was just kind of like nothing really changed for me. I kind of just went about like my business in the same way that I did last year, to be fair. It was just coming in, it's just like, you knew, I kind of had that like extra pressure on me, but in the spring, I was able to play all 90 minutes of all of our spring games. So I kind of felt what it was like to be a starter on a competitive Big East team, which is one of the best leagues in the country. So it's we had a hard spring schedule, so that was good. And then just coming in, just kind of trying to figure it out as I go, because I mean it's you can't replicate going to play Marquette at Marquette when it's the winds are 25 degrees, or it's like you can't go and replicate what it's like to go play Marshall the second game of the year. So it's just like kind of just learning as you go, to be fair, just kind of having an open mind about it, knowing that you're going to make mistakes and that you're going to learn from them. And yeah.
Who would play you in a movie?
Me in a movie. Um, I don't know. I can't really think of any redheads. But my dad always says Kevin Bacon would play him. So I think I'll just go with that. Kevin Bacon. I may date myself there, but yeah, Kevin Bacon.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
When you're warming up, you've got headphones on. What are the three artists you're listening to?
I don't know the artist really, but I listen to that like house music, just like really just like dance, like just get you really fun going. I don't know any of the artists, but I just like play a house music playlist and just like get going. That's what I kind of listen to before games.
Your favorite meal?
My favorite meal. I think actually ever since I've moved out of the dorms and I've started cooking for myself, I gotta say I probably can make the best guac in the Big East. So I think probably tacos, some tacos and guac. Yeah. Yeah.
You're on the Big East Weekly Honor Roll, so you're making the best guac in the Big East, and you're stopping everything between the pipes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a combination there, Jonny Mennell. You just set a very high bar with the guac content, with the guac comment. So I might have to come all the way over to Cincinnati and try your guac.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's
Anytime.
gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
Tell me, when you think about your journey and getting to Xavier, before we started recording this interview, you were telling me a little bit about it, and it sounds to me as though you were very persistent in finding a pathway to Xavier. Tell us a little bit more about that and how rewarding it is to see the results of what you've worked so hard for.
Yeah, it's I think like it's for me, I emailed them the first time and I didn't get a response. And my dad's knowledge of college soccer, he said that this is probably going to be a place that's really good for you. So I said, okay, like what can I do to like get a response? One of the old assistant coaches was really close to my club coach. So I texted him directly and I was like, are you guys looking for a 2022 goalkeeper? And they're like, we are. And it just kind of went from there. And I just kind of fell in love with this place. I grew up in LA and I moved to Asheville. I didn't think I was going to end up in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I mean, it just happens. It just feels like home. And then to see all of it work out, like how it has, it's nothing short of just like just all that hard work getting put into it. I mean, just having Coach Higgins come in and him being like the perfect coach for me and how I like a coach to be with me. It's been brilliant. And just throughout this whole entire year, just kind of getting more comfortable with games and all that kind of stuff. It just really makes me proud of kind of like all those like quote unquote long nights and all those drives and everything, so it's like it's kind of like it's all like planning out, I guess. And especially after that first game, just kind of like seeing my dad's teams from all over the years, it was really nice to kind of like get to do it myself for once. Yeah.
Last one here for me. 9-2-7 a year ago. Obviously, you're not on the field playing a role in games, but you're part of a group. And I understand there was some heartbreak there to fall just short of the NCAA tournament. 6-3-2 this year. How much did last year serve as that motivating point? And what is possible for Xavier men's soccer when we turn the calendar to November, and I know hopefully for you guys, December.
Yeah. I think with us, it's like I don't think we even scratched the surface last year at all. Because I think we were obviously Cole, Dylan, and Mac like at the back four in total. The whole defense was just so great last year. I mean, Cole obviously had a great performance, obviously goalkeeper of the year, but I don't think we were as good with the ball going forwards as we are this year. And I think we've shown that in some of the performances we've had of where we just kind of dominate teams. And um I think in November, we're such a stout team defensively, it's gonna be hard to score goals on us. And in a knockout game, there's penalties, there's no draws. And I think we fancy ourselves to not give up a goal for the rest of the year. I think that's our mentality going into it every single time. And now that we have the other side of the ball, like firing on all cylinders, I think it's gonna be a really hard out for any team that goes against us. And I think we've shown that throughout this year that if we get the defensive side of things right, we can build and we'll get a scrappy goal like we did at Creighton, where it's just they make a mistake and we pounce on it, and then we're the first team to shut them out since 2019 at their place. So that was really nice, especially after how they knocked us out of the Big East tournament last year. That was a really nice one. I know for me personally, not being on the field, but it was nice to go and beat them at their place, shut them out at their place. Yeah, no, but it's been fun. Yeah, it's been good.
3 straight matches with points for Xavier, including wins over Creighton and Marquette. The top team in the Midwest Division welcomes in the third-ranked Akron Zips Saturday night, 7 Eastern time on the Big East Digital Network. Jonny Mennell will be in goal for the Muskies. Jonny, best of luck Saturday. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.